Americans need new choices.
John McCain on his way to Oregon. When and where you can see and hear the presumptive Republican nominee in Oregon in person. The toddler's dead, her 13-year-old aunt accused in the killing. What does the Oregon legal system do when a 13-year-old is under arrest for murder? And
when you open it, it looks exactly like the IRS page.
But it's not. How to avoid getting taken by this internet scam. And how Prince William tries to repair his image after using an Air Force helicopter to drop in on his girlfriend. You have clearance to land right here for KATU's Midday News now.
Live at noon, this is KATU News on your side.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Natalie Marmion.
And I'm Carl Click. First on to a 13-year-old accused of killing her infant niece went before a judge today.
KATU's Jeff Yeager was there, joins us live in Salem. Jeff, what happened in court today?
Well, Natalie and Carl, it was a very short hearing at juvenile court here in Marion County today, but it appears for now that the 13-year-old will not be tried as an adult.
You look at the facts and circumstances of the alleged crime. You look at the child's circumstances.
That's what the DA's office evaluates when determining whether or not to pursue adult charges in the state's case against 13-year-old Rosita Carbajal, accused of killing her infant niece. Well, the deputy DA says Carbajal's home life will also be looked into, as well as her school life, family support, and if she has any behavioral issues.
Take all that into consideration and looking at what is just in this particular case.
Our cameras are not allowed into juvenile court, but outside you can see Carbajal's family rushing away in this van. Today, the juvenile court judge determined there was enough probable cause to push the case forward and keep Rosita in detention until her trial. Well, since Rosita is not 15, this is not a Measure 11 case. The judge will have the final say as to whether or not to waive the case to the adult courts. But for now, the DA's office is not pursuing adult charges.
Based on the facts and circumstances as we know it right now, we have made the decision we are not going to try to waive her to adult court, but certainly that's a decision that will be ongoing, and we will continue to look at the factors.
And we did speak with Carbajal's attorney right after the hearing today, and he had just picked up the case, so he didn't want to say anything on camera, but he did say if his client is convicted, the longest she could spend in a detention facility would be until she turns 25. Her trial will start in July. We're live in Salem. Jeff Yeager, KATU News.
Okay, Jeff, thanks for the update there. We are learning more about that murder-suicide that gripped West Linn yesterday. A man shot his estranged wife in the parking lot of the West Linn police station before killing himself. KATU's Bob High joins us now with what's happening today at that office following yesterday's traumatic shooting. Bob?
Well, Carl, we found out just by talking to neighbors that Lisa McMurtry, the victim in this case, actually moved out of her home in Damascus about a year ago and here to West Linn. Investigators, you can still see some glass here on the ground from yesterday's shooting. Investigators say Lisa McMurtry, apparently desperate for help, drove her SUV here to the West Linn Police Department yesterday afternoon. Not far behind, her estranged husband, Newton Bill McMurtry of Damascus, followed in his pickup truck. West Linn Police Chief Terry Timmy is heard yelling from inside his second-floor office here.
I looked out the window and I saw a male in a pickup, and at this point I saw a rifle come up that I could see wasn't, the normal situation to see at your office. I drew my handgun, yelled, call dispatch, we have a man with a rifle.
Police say McMurtry shot his estranged wife, then shot himself. He died later at the hospital. Police say witnesses actually saw McMurtry ramming his estranged wife's SUV about a half hour before the shooting up on Highway 43, just a couple miles west or north from here. They wish somebody who had witnessed that ramming might have called police and given them a chance possibly to keep this shooting from happening. Live in West Linn, Bob High, KATU News.
Still, all those details are tragic, Bob. Thanks for the update.
Now we go to a record on Mount Hood. It is still snowing today, adding to a snowfall never seen before in modern times.
Yeah, Rhonda's here now to tell us about this record we broke up on the mountain.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Government camp has just seen an enormous amount of snow. Every time we go up there with our cameras and shoot, there are sometimes 10-foot snow drifts up there. Here is the big record they broke. The record is for snowfall. 594 inches was the old record set back in the 1800s, 1898. The new record, 619 inches and still falling. We've had 6 more inches come down overnight, and a few more snow showers are on tap for today. So it's been pretty incredible how much snow has come in that region. Here's a look at today's forecast for the Cascades. As we talked about yesterday, there is going to be some additional snowfall in this region. We're looking at 2 to 4 more inches of snow before the day is out, and that's when the showers are expected to decrease later today. And I captured this picture off the internet just about an hour ago of the conditions up at government camp. Doesn't that look like winter up there? From our tripcheck.com website. That's the ODOT website that does such a great job capturing what it looks like on the mountain passes for you. Temperature just 32 degrees. Again, still snowy up there, and some other interesting numbers, Natalie and Carl. How about 821 inches of snow for Timberline this year, 10 inches overnight. We'll let you know whether or not this is all going to taper off and what your forecast looks like coming up.
Okay, Rhonda, thank you so much. We have other news right now. A fire breaks out at a southeast Portland home overnight, and it's blamed on an unattended candle. Happened around 3:30 this morning in the 8500 block of Glenwood Street. The occupants were home. They didn't have a working smoke detector, but still managed to escape. Now, one person did suffer minor burns and was also treated at the scene for smoke inhalation. Damage estimates top $60,000.
The man accused of running down 2 cyclists last summer in southeast Portland has now been charged with attempted murder. Johnny Eschweiler had already been charged with assault for allegedly using his car to hit Ben Ransdale and Timothy Mastney on Clinton Street. Well, cycling advocates, they called for those charges. They said they were insufficient. Well, Eschweiler has now pleaded not guilty to assault and will go to trial in June.
Now to On Your Side coverage of Vote 08 and Republican Senator John McCain coming to Oregon. The presumptive presidential nominee has scheduled a fundraiser at the Sheraton Hotel in Portland for May 12th. That's 8 days before Oregon's primary. Tickets for this event start at $1,000.
And McCain has unveiled his plan for dealing with the health care crisis. No surprise, it's different than what the Democrats are proposing. Dan Lothian has more on what the Republican wants to do.
From do-it-yourself to letting the federal government do it for you, all 3 presidential hopefuls are offering prescriptions for America's healthcare system. Senator John McCain wants you to have the option of buying your own cheaper health insurance, so he would offer tax credits, $2,500 for individuals and $5,000 for families.
Insurance companies could no longer take your business for granted, offering narrow plans with escalating costs. It would help change the whole dynamic of the current system, putting individuals and families back in charge.
But critics say a few $1,000s in credits would only cover a fraction of actual health care costs. For example, the average plan for a family of 4 is more than $12,000. And people with pre-existing conditions might be prevented from getting coverage. The Democrats are going down a much different road. Both favor some sort of federally mandated universal health insurance, but differ on just who should be covered. Senator Clinton says all Americans.
When it comes to health care, I believe with all my heart, health care is a right, not a privilege, and everyone deserves quality, affordable health care.
Senator Obama backs a plan that would mandate coverage only for children and make insurance affordable for everyone else.
I believe that the problem is not that people don't want health care, it is that they can't afford it.
That was Dan Lothian reporting. Now, Elizabeth Edwards, the wife of former presidential candidate John Edwards, says McCain's plan works very well if you happen to be rich and healthy. There are more than 40 million people nationwide without insurance.
Across America, residents of a tornado-ravaged area of Virginia went home briefly to see what's left of their home or neighborhood. Residents were only given about 10 minutes to check things out. Some of those homes are so badly damaged they've been condemned. Most residents just wanted to salvage what they could from what was once a home. A state emergency management spokesperson says in the case of Hurricane Isabel in 2003, more people were injured from the cleanup than the hurricane itself.
Flames leapt 40 feet into the air at a Hollywood nightclub early this morning. Look, it happened at a pretty famous spot, too, Hollywood and Vine. The fire started in the bar of a Hollywood restaurant just before 6. The restaurant is across the street from the Capitol Records building. Fire officials say the blaze damaged the nightclub, a tattoo parlor, a beauty supply company, and a vacant shoe store. No injuries were reported, though.
The Fed cut interest rates again today, down 1/4 to 2%. That is the lowest they've been since late 2004. It is a smaller move than the Fed made earlier this season, though. The cut will mean lower borrowing rates as America faces a growing recession.
In news from around the world, for the second time in 4 days, a shark has killed someone on the Pacific coast. A surfer from San Francisco was attacked and killed near Acapulco, Mexico yesterday. The 24-year-old bled to death after that shark bite opened a huge wound on his thigh. Officials think the shark was likely a tiger shark. Tiger sharks are known man-eaters. That man that he was surfing with was not injured.
Well, Prince William is back in England after a secret visit to Afghanistan. His younger brother served there for 10 weeks earlier this year until a media blackout fell apart. ABC's Gloria Riviera has more.
Prince William's father, Prince Charles, was the one to award him his pilot wings earlier this month. But the only battleground he's faced has been keeping his longtime girlfriend, Kate Middleton, safe from the paparazzi. Until now, he didn't see military action, but he did visit British troops on the ground in Kandahar on Monday for 3 hours. The prince is getting to know the military he is expected to one day lead. But he is being criticized for making the trip to make up for bad judgment. Last week, he landed his Chinook helicopter in his girlfriend's parents' backyard, much to their reported delight.
Prince William has said from the outset that he didn't want to be mollycoddled, he didn't want to be a toy soldier, so he always said he wanted to go and serve, but yes, the timing is suspect.
After Prince Harry returned from his own 10-week deployment to Afghanistan, Prince William used a Chinook helicopter to take him to a bachelor party. British troops have complained about a shortage of Chinook helicopters on the front lines. Just 10 are available to commanders there. Next up, Prince William joins the British Navy to learn more, but by next January, he will leave the British military and become a full-time working royal. Gloria Riviera, ABC News, London.
A royal spokesperson says the 25-year-old prince piloted a military C-17 transport aircraft during part of his Sunday flight to Kandahar. He spent 3 hours on the ground there. Then he traveled to an air base in Qatar, where he spent another 2 hours before flying back to England.
Well, the Olympic torch arrives in Hong Kong after China deports at least 7 activists who planned protests against the Chinese government. The chartered plane carrying that flame landed at Hong Kong International Airport. The vice president of the Beijing 2008 Olympic Committee brought the lantern down the steps of the aircraft. A group of local school children, they were there on hand. The Hong Kong leg of this torch relay on Friday is a high-stakes event because it marks the flame's homecoming to Chinese soil after a world tour tarnished by protests.
A 7th grade science teacher from Central Oregon is honored as the National Teacher of the Year. Just this morning, President Bush honored Michael Geeson in a ceremony on the White House lawn. He teaches science at Crook County Middle School in Prineville. The 35-year-old teacher just started teaching 7 years ago, obviously doing a great job. Geeson says he has done demonstrations with 14,000 live volts and lived to explain them. He says the key to keeping students' attention is by letting them experience their creativity.
Students need to know that we value more than just being right all the time. We need to really honor their creativity. We need to honor their desire to learn useful skills that are going to be relevant in the 21st century world.
Listen to this compliment. One of Geeson's students told the selection committee that this teacher could make watching grass grow interesting.
And now he's got a really nice picture to frame and put on the wall, you think?
I think he should make an 11 by 14 at least.
Yeah, it'll be up real soon. Well, pollution can cause serious breathing problems, but one hospital is recommending that we laugh it away. Coming up after weather, the special class that's a breath of fresh air for sufferers.
And next, a new internet scam targeting people waiting for a tax rebate or refund. How you can avoid being ripped off.
Next Jeopardy, we're bearing it all.
You were a pool inspector?
One of the pools was very different.
Yeah, in what way?
It was in a nudist camp. It was an eye-opening experience. Take the plunge with Jeopardy!
Tonight at 7 on KATU on your side.
For all-day relief of itchy, dry skin, try new Cortisone 10 Intensive Healing. The strongest itch relief medicine now has 3 vitamins and 7 moisturizers.